I said, guess who's back? Man, guess who's back? I said, guess who's back?
Alexandro Silva Pereira, born the 7th of July 1987, is a Brazilian professional mixed martial artist and former kickboxer. He currently competes in the light heavyweight division in the Ultimate Fighting Championship, UFC, where he is the current UFC light heavyweight champion and a former UFC middleweight champion. He is the 9th fighter in UFC history to become champion in 2 different weight divisions and the first to become champion in both the middleweight and light heavyweight divisions of the organization. In kickboxing, he is a former Glory middleweight and light heavyweight champion and is the first and only fighter to have held Glory titles in 2 weight classes simultaneously. Pereira also competed in promotions such as It's Showtime and Super Combat Fighting Championship in kickboxing, and for Jungle Fight and Legacy Fighting Alliance in MMA. As of the 20th of February 2024, he is ranked 4th in the UFC men's pound-for-pound rankings. Pereira is the only known fighter to be a 2-division world champion in MMA and kickboxing, and is regarded as one of the greatest combat athletes of all time. Pereira was ranked number 1 in the kickboxing middleweight and light heavyweight rankings, and during this run, Pereira achieved his most famous victories, defeating the future UFC middleweight champion Israel Adesanya twice, once by unanimous decision and once by a counter left hook KO. Pereira's headlining of the Sin City Extravaganza caps a remarkable journey to superstardom in MMA's top promotion, which he's achieved in only 7 fights. And it's also the culmination of an incredible journey which has been filled with world titles galore from the depths of poverty and addiction for the Brazilian. Pereira left school aged 12 with the most basic of qualifications, a decision that looked set to keep him in the life of poverty he'd already endured. He initially began working as a bricklayer, and after this, he picked up a job in a tire shop to help make ends meet for his family, who resided in the greater district of Sao Paulo. But unbeknown to him, his workplace would put him on the path to self-destruction. Pereira would observe his co-workers drink iced cachacas, a Brazilian sugarcane spirit, throughout the day, a practice he initially declined to partake in. He would, however, eventually succumb to their influence and become addicted to booze. His addiction got so bad that by the time he was 16, he was drinking a liter of the stuff a day and took payments for his work in the form of drinks. He admitted, "At that time when I was really lost, I used to drink almost 1 liter of alcohol a day. I had kind of a ritual. Until 12 p.m., I used to drink 3 cachacas. At 10 a.m., at 11 a.m., and another one at noon. I had no financial condition. I liked beer, but damn, I had no money." Pereira would spend the next 5 years trapped in the midst of the booze-filled cycle until he was introduced to kickboxing in 2009. "I drank like crazy," Pereira said. "That's when I thought sport would save me. I can't play football, but I knew I had fighting talent and I chose martial arts." Kickboxing well and truly changed Pereira's life, with Poatan getting himself in shape and eventually turning professional. But he was still battling his addiction during the first 4 years of his pro career. Recalling the battle with former UFC heavyweight champ Fabrício Verdum, he said, "It's been 4 years I've been struggling to break free from alcohol. If I don't stop, I'm nothing. I'll never drink anything again. I've never used drugs and my problem is drinking. I drink every day. I drink almost a liter a day." It took Pereira 4 attempts to get sober, but get sober he did. "It was an addiction," he said. "We're in that moment, drinking, and we say, 'I'll stop when I want to.' I had that in my mind. I decided to stop. It was time to stop. But I couldn't, and that's when I realized it was ugly." Pereira's permanent ditching of the booze would put him on the path to iconic combat sports status. The 36-year-old became the first man in Glory, kickboxing's premier organization, to hold 2 titles simultaneously after scooping their middle and light heavyweight titles. He would replicate the feat in the UFC a mere 2 years after joining mixed martial arts top promotion. Pereira claimed the organization's middleweight title in November 2022 with a shock stoppage of longtime rival Israel Adesanya at Madison Square Garden. He'd become the fastest two-division champion in UFC history 12 months later when he knocked out Jiri Prochazka to claim the vacant light heavyweight title, and Pereira will be the first to admit he owes all his success to winning the biggest fight of his life. Until recently, I was kind of afraid, ashamed, he admitted. But today, I see the need for it. Because how many people are suffering from alcohol or drug problems? So today, people have the opportunity to know where they can be saved. In sports, it doesn't matter if it's kickboxing, MMA, soccer, or whatever, you know? Pereira has 2 sons with his ex-wife. Pereira has indigenous ancestry from the Pataxó tribe. His nickname, Powhatan, means stone hands in the Tupi language, which however is not the ethnic language of the Pataxó. The nickname was given to him by his first kickboxing trainer, Belokwa Wera, who was also responsible for helping Pereira discover his indigenous ancestry. He has a younger sister, Aline Pereira, who competes for Glory and had her MMA debut on the 18th of November 2022. Pereira, who reportedly split with recent girlfriend and MMA content creator last year, alleged that he cut her out of his life after finding out that she is married. It's a little hard to talk about this because, for me, I already deleted this person from my life, he said on the latest installment of the Full Send MMA podcast. I would also like to ask my fans to also delete her from your life. It was a person I believed. I put her in my house, together with my family. After all, I found out she was married. Christine, who hosts the MMA podcast called Fightology, responded to Pereira's claims, which she found funny, in the comments. "Lol, hurt man inventing whatever," she wrote, adding a bunch of crying, laughing emojis. "How can I be married and moving to the States, LOL?" The full interview with Pereira is set to be released on the Full Send MMA YouTube channel Friday. Taking to his Instagram story on Friday, Pereira posted screenshots of alleged text messages between him and his ex. "Well guys, Merle thinks she'll be able to manipulate you," he wrote over the photos in Portuguese, according to Google Translate. "I've been talking to her ex-husband for a few days, and today I know what she's capable of. This is a love conversation with 2 different people on the same day and at the same time. She attacked me thinking I was going to fight back. But I'm not crazy about doing that. I have video of her attacking me. Since she didn't get what she wanted, she's trying to use my name." Pereira appears to have deleted any proof of their relationship from his social media accounts. Christine's Instagram, which has 19,800 followers, is private as of Friday. Pereira claimed the organization's middleweight title in November 2022 with a shock stoppage of longtime rival Israel Adesanya at Madison Square Garden. He'd become the fastest two-division champion in UFC history 12 months later when he knocked out Jiri Prochazka to claim the vacant light heavyweight title. He now takes on another big hitter on Saturday the 13th of April when he takes on the heavy-handed American Jamahal Hill for the light heavyweight title.
Said, guess who's back? Man, guess who's back? Said, guess who's back?